Future Rami X here. This is just a quick side note, I suppose, before the video truly begins. Some of you may know the series as What If Naruto Had 9 Lives, but whilst making the series, I wanted to call it What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Evil, due to a few events that occur later on in the story. I did end up going with that name in the long run, and thus that is what this What If movie will be called. What If Naruto was the reincarnation of evil? The movie. Rami X back with another video, and today's video is special. Really special, in fact. Today, actually, is special. To be frank, not this very day that I'm recording on is necessarily special, though I'm sure it is for many people around the world. For me specifically, the day that this drops, if everything goes according to plan, should be August 31st, hopefully, which is my birthday. And, well, for me, that is one of the most special days of them all. As a birthday wish, I hope the continued prosperity of my channel, and for the continued prosperity of all of you watching, that you all remain in good health, and that I, too, remain in good health, as well as those around me. I wish for a good rest of my year, and a good year to come. And with that, we can continue the video. Sorry for the somewhat long intro, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well. It is my birthday, it'd be a small token of your appreciation. Subscribe if you're new here, and, we can now begin the video. What if Naruto had 9 lives? With that being said, this what if was inspired by myself, meaning that I am therefore the creator of this what if. Everything that I create in this what if is my own, but if somebody wishes to use the same concept, feel free, as long as you are to mention me in the video. With that being said, I now control this story. I hope all of you enjoy this story, and we shall now begin the story. Naruto would be born in the same fashion that he was born in the original timeline, except he is special. Not only is he half Uzumaki and half Namikaze, the son of a former Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, and the son of the 4th Hokage, the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails, and somebody with massive chakra reserves. Never mind his healing factor. He is also a chosen one, so to speak. Somebody who was chosen. Chosen by whom or what? Well, we will see. With that, we shall now continue the what if. We skip all the way to Zabuza in the land of waves. Nothing changes. Not how strong Naruto is, not how fast Naruto is, how powerful, you get the point. None of his physical attributes change, none at all. He is the Naruto that we know and love. The only change would occur in the land of waves. It is their second encounter with Zabuza. And here, Haku gets Naruto, Sasuke, and at this point, even Sakura inside of ice mirrors. Sakura has been hit with 11 Sanbon by Haku, Sasuke by 25, and Naruto by a whopping 41 Sanbon. Riddled throughout his body, Sakura has basically been paralyzed. Not that this will continue in future, just at the moment her body is near frozen. Sasuke, every time he moves it hurts, as if he's being stabbed by blades every single time he makes one step, every single time he moves one muscle. But as for Naruto, Naruto is beaten. 41 senbon riddled throughout his body. They hurt beyond compare. But most of all, they anger Naruto. They make him mad and furious that some random ninja would hurt he and his friends. What do they gain from doing such a thing, he thought. But most of all, what crossed his mind was the death of him, and with him, Sasuke and Sakura, two people he cared for dearly. And he noted to himself that if they were all to die, then Kakashi would probably die with them. This meant he had to do something for himself, for his team. And so, Sasuke prepared, and so did Naruto. They talked to themselves, but it was too late. Haku was already preparing something himself. 6 more senbon, all to be flown at Sasuke and Sakura. He knew that Naruto, being the boy that he was, would sacrifice himself. And as such he would. Naruto would jump in front of the senbon, taking all 47, fatally wounding him. It would be then that Haku would prepare 10 more, and Naruto would fall on his knees. On one knee, to be exact. Looking up at Haku, he didn't know what to say. He would never become Hokage, and he would never be seen as nothing more than a monster. His life's work was finished. Not finished, more so incomplete, so to speak. But at this point in time, it was a closing. So to Naruto, it was finished, it was done. Everything he had hoped was gone. Never to return. So he looked up at Haku with a look in his eyes that can only be described as pure charisma. Even charm, so to speak. As he knew he was going to die here. Naruto would stand. Also, basically, Sasuke dying, kind of, if you guys know what I mean. Unlocking the Nine-Tails chakra, which allowed Naruto to obliterate Haku. Anyways, I say further no more. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would look up at Haku, as Haku would prepare 10 more senbon. With this, he could kill all 3 of them in one swoop. Naruto's too weak, he can't block the senbon once more. Sasuke can barely move, if at all. And Sakura, well, she's paralyzed, so to speak. With that, Naruto would stand in the face of the senbon as they came hurling towards the 3. He would look back at Sasuke and Sakura. Sakura, Sasuke, if you two survive, if you can tell a story, tell them that Naruto Uzumaki risked his life. No. That Naruto Uzumaki's life was taken, fighting for what he held dear. Fighting for Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Naruto would smile, looking back at the senbon, which had now pierced through him, and into his heart. He fell to the ground, and Naruto was now dead. Sakura's paralyzation would be stopped. Her body would be forced to move to help Naruto. So with Sasuke's, Sasuke would pull every senbon out of his body, and Sakura would do the same, rushing to Naruto's aid. But they couldn't save him. It was too late. Haku would spit these words in front of Sasuke, that it was too late, that he couldn't do anything, that he wasn't strong enough. And Sasuke's 2 Tomoe Sharingan, and then 3 Tomoe Sharingan would emerge. Fortunately, it wasn't enough pain to go through that allowed Sasuke to awaken his Mangekyo. But for a second, for a few seconds, he had achieved the level of the Mangekyo Sharingan. With that being said, a 2 Tomoe in Sasuke's left eye, and a 3 to Moe in Sasuke's right eye. Sasuke now stood up. Using the 2 and 3 to Moe, he would battle Haku with Sakura's small but helpful aid. Haku would be defeated, and Sasuke and Sakura would be broken, mourning Naruto's death. Where am I? Naruto would say. He would sniff the air. It did not smell like the normal air that he usually breathed. It was musty, so to speak, thick, and it reeked of a smell that he couldn't describe. But he looked around in this black pit of nothingness that he found himself in. Where am I? Naruto would hear his voice echo as he would yell it. Where am I? Naruto would yell. A man would tap Naruto on his shoulder. You, my friend, are in the world between my world and your world. A purgatory of sorts. What? What exactly do you mean by that? Naruto, Uzumaki. You are dead. No! No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm not dead. We have a misunderstanding. I was in a fight with a guy named Haku. What happened? I'm not dead. Don't say that. I am afraid that it is only the truth. That I speak only the truth. Huh? No. No. That's a lie. Naruto would punch the man. The man wouldn't move. And Naruto's fist felt like it was on fire from the pain of punching the man. Though this is a dimension between my world and your world, pain is still felt. This world's smells are amplified by 100. Same with the feeling. And my words, they mean 100 times more than they do in this world than in the world of the living. So you're dead? Is that what you're telling me? And now I'm gonna forever pass on soon and be in the place that you are? Well, not necessarily. You are special, Naruto. What do you mean? Unfortunately, you were blessed, but also cursed. You were given a beast that can heal you and save you from near death in multiple situations. But you were cursed with a rampant and raging beast within your belly. One who would never dare help a person. The man was going to say Jinchuriki. One who is trapped within you and curses your name day in and day out. That is the Ninetales. I see. I know of the Ninetales. The people in the leaf hate him. Like Mizuki, Naruto thought to himself. Precisely. He is a beast. But you were also blessed being an Uzumaki, with high chakra reserves and the ability to heal faster than the others. That is a gift. But you are special in a different way. Huh? What do you mean? How special can I be? How different can I be from a normal person? Naruto thought to himself. He was already the beast boy that was outcasted by his village in more ways than he has fingers and toes to count. What else could he be different in? Was it his teeth or hair or the blood that runs through his veins? What could it be? Was it his destiny? Naruto will look at the man in silence. You are special in the way because you have been chosen. Chosen for what? You, Naruto, have 9 lives. 9 lives? Huh? What do you mean? You can die 9 times over. Whether it is physical, say in the way that you have died now. I think that a sunbomb pierced your heart, or a fatal artery, I'm not too sure on the specifics. Or say from old age, or illness. But once those 9 lives are over, I die. Just send me back to the land of the living or whatever. Naruto, I don't have much time here. My hold here is only strong so long as you wish to be here. So long as you wish to know more. Since you wish not to know more any longer, my own spiritual essence is being used to hold myself in this plane and hold you here as well. I am the guardian who protects those who inherit this gift. And I will make my talk brief with you. As brief as possible. This may take hours, but I will try to make it take minutes to explain to you, Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki. Once you have used up your 10th life, once you have gone into your 10th life, you are not Naruto Uzumaki. Huh? What do you mean? What I'm saying is from now on you have 9 more lives. Your original life has been taken by Haku Yuki. And now you have 9 more to spare. If in the event that all 9 of those lives are taken, leading you on to a 10th/11th life, you will no longer be Naruto Uzumaki. You will be the reincarnation of the devil himself. What? No, you speak nonsense. The devil doesn't exist. Oh, he does. But he is not what you know him as. He is a person. A man who brings calamity wherever he goes. Whatever soil he steps on. Turn to ash. He burns fires that rage on for days. He brings about destruction? Yes. I see. So I won't actually be the devil, but somebody so evil that they call him that. Precisely. Precisely. Is that so? Well, I don't really know how to feel about this. I am near immortal now, and I have 9 lives, but if I die 9 more times, then I become the literal reincarnation of evil. Evil is incarnate. That's right. The man who originally had this ability. His name was Evil. E-V-I-L-L. The evil incarnates that followed after him changed their names to E-V-I-L. L. 2 L's at the end. The word evil is E-V-I-L. Because to speak evil's name is to what? Well, the people back in the day believed that it was to curse you, which is not true at all. You can say it as many times as you wish. But there was an old folklore that if you say it 1,000,000 times, or 100 million, or 1,000,000,000 even, that evil himself, he will come, and he will reincarnate into someone you love, and that person will bring about great destruction to your life and to everything you love. You see? So if I'm understanding this right, I stop becoming who I am and I become this evil guy who doesn't care about anything except for destruction. If I die 9 more times, Precisely. I'm glad that you understand already, Naruto. Some of the people before you they've laughed at me, and it's took a lot of convincing. My foothold here in this plane is not strong, Naruto. But do not waste your lives. And if you do, if you waste your lives, then you will become what you hate most. They say that evil torments its incarnates, the host, specifically. That he makes them wish that they were dead, as they see him take everything that they hold dear to him and destroy it in front of their eyes. Anyways, our talk here is done, Naruto. It should be noted, though, you can kill your own self 18 times. What? 18? How? Well, it's actually quite simple. To die by your own hand is not a death that evil would do. He would never kill himself, as he wishes to bring about destruction for as long as he lives. I see. As an evil incarnate, you do not possess the infinite amount of lives of killing himself. It's something evil would never do, and thus it's something that would never happen by evil's own hand. I see. So what are you suggesting? I am suggesting, Naruto, that, well, you have an additional 18 lives that you can use to kill yourself if need be. They say that evil cursed his own host, so that if they ever figured out about him ever being able to join their own bodies, that maybe they would kill themselves on their last life. But instead he took that option away by enabling them 18 chances to kill themselves. 9 chances to die, and another 9 to live as him. Is that so? Yes, Naruto, it is so. It is as true as can be. Wait, so if that is right, then I have, what's 18 plus 18? It is the, no, I'm counting, shh. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So I have 36 lives? Yes, I was going to say that, Naruto. Well, I figured it out on my own. 36 lives. 9 of which will be used by my evil incarnate if I ever die too much. But by killing myself, I have 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29 lives? Close enough. Yes, 29 lives, sure. Okay, so, wait, I'm going to recount. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Huh? What the heck? Wait, let me think. Anyways, to not bore you, this conversation is not going to go on much longer, Naruto. You're doing a lot of math, and I know you don't like to do that. Have you been watching me? No, but I just know. You're the type of person. When you die, you will be in this way reborn. Your hair will be clean, your flesh clean, you will even appear angelic in some ways. The person that cursed evil made his incarnates appear similar to angels when reborn. I see. To damn evil and everything he stands for. So he was put down. Yes, in the past. If he gets a strong enough host, he can come back as the true evil. I see. us hope that never happens. You're right, Naruto. Let us hope that he never strikes again. Because if he does, trust me, Naruto, it will not be good. With that being said, Naruto would be reborn. His eyes would open. To Sasuke and Sakura, he would appear to have wings behind him. As he stood, clothes would wrap around him, naturally. These clothes were white and mimicked his jumpsuit, but the white version of it. Pure white. It was as if Naruto was an angel. Wings protruding from his back, they would disappear before the eyes of Sakura and Sasuke. They would look at Naruto, and then back at themselves, and then back at Naruto once more. Naruto would crack his hands. Wow. Life one. You were good. But these others should be pretty good. Naruto would sigh. Oh, it feels good to breathe in air. Real air, not the air they use in the other place. Oh, I feel so alive. Naruto would do a few stretches, touching his tippy toes and whatnot. Well, where's Haku? I thought he'd still be here. How long was I gone? About 5 minutes, probably. And what do you mean by gone? Well, I died, did I not? Yeah. Haku put a sunbond through your heart. You shouldn't be standing here like nothing happened 5 minutes ago. The thought of Naruto being something ungodly, it brought chills to Sasuke. To being someone who can cheat death. That was insane to him. Naruto would look around as he would see that the ice mirrors were no longer present. Has Haku been defeated, Sasuke? Yeah. Did you do it? Or was it Kakashi or Sakura? Me, no, Sakura would say. It was all Sasuke. He did this cool thing and his Sharingan went bow bow and then he defeated Haku. I see. Thank you for the details, Sakura. So you awaken the next stages of your Sharingan, is that what it is? The 2 and 3 Tomoe, yes. But one eye lacks the 3 Tomoe. It appeared to have manifested due to the rage. Or so. Something, I don't know. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would exit the area of Sasuke and Sakura, who at this point were exhausted on their knees. And backs. Naruto would continue walking. It would be here that he would see Kakashi killing Zabuza. He would sigh. If only all had the ability to cheat death. Imagine what this world would be like. Mustn't take life for granted, I guess. With that, he would walk up to Kakashi. He would take Zabuza's body, would put it beside Haku's beaten body. It would be there that Haku would die from his injuries. And he would bury the two together, placing Zabuza's blade between the two of them. Have this blade, and go on to the heavens, Naruto would say. I wish you great luck in death, and hopefully, you two are treated better than you were in this life. Zabuza wasn't fully dead, nor was Haku. They could both hear Naruto's words and knew of them as sincere. But from lack of oxygen, they would truly die. Not before Zabuza and Haku managed to share words of condolence. Clearing the dirt with their own hands, they would be able to hold hands in death. as Zabuza would tell Haku that he's definitely going to hell. But for Haku, he can go somewhere much better. Snow would befall the area. It started off as rain, but when it came closer to the earth, it was white. White as snow. Later on, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, Team 7 that is, would leave the Land of Waves, venturing back to Konoha. It would be here, in Konoha, that Naruto would, well, he would sleep. He had literally just been on death's door. Actually, he had been through death's door, into a place that he now calls purgatory. Or breathless pocket of air. He hates purgatory, might I add. With that being said, the next day, he would take on a few D-rank missions, alone. He would test out his strength. Something that the man that he met in purgatory, Miho is his name, forgot to mention, was that as evil's incarnate, incarnate and reincarnation, each time he gets closer and closer to becoming a host of evil, he gets closer and closer to obtaining the power of evil. Meaning that each time that Naruto dies, he gets over 10 to 2. To sometimes only 1.5 or 1.3 times stronger. He forever increases in power as he reaches closer and closer to death. With that being said, Naruto would witness this. He felt faster on his feet, stronger, quicker, more intelligent, smart, but also as stupid as he was before dying. But now he knew that he was a little dumb. Instead of thinking that he was the smartest person in the room, he knew that he wasn't. And he had grown. His arms, his biceps, his forearms, they had grown tremendously. And he now had abs starting to come in, and his hair had grown just a little bit longer. Enough to reach far past his ears, closer to his jawline. And his legs, his calves had grown stronger, and his mind had grown in both capacity and in intelligence. Naruto would go to the Hokage, as he would kneel to the Hokage, bowing first, and then he would kneel. Lord Third. Yes, Naruto, what is it? May I go on a mission? A C-rank mission. Whatever you can give me that I can do alone. You are just the right person. I was going to ask for a Genin to do this mission, but there's no other better Genin than you that's available. And since you've just come back from the Land of Waves, I thought that you'd need rest, but if you were still bustling with energy, I suppose you could go. Do you want to be accompanied? Though this mission is more of a solo man mission. If we send more than one Genin to the village that I want you to go to, they may take it as an act of treason, war even. Where do you wish to send me? A village. It's known as Piso, the village hidden in peace. So it's a peaceful village. As such, I should be the only one to go. No other people are needed. Well, it is very, very close to the Leaf Village. I would not send you on it if it wasn't safe. The message, or... Naruto couldn't put his words together. Something was in his mouth. So he would spit it out, and it appeared to be blood. Naruto thought to himself. Are you sure you're able to go on this mission, Naruto? Maybe you should get some more rest. No. I think that this is just the temporary side effects of being so close to death's door. I see. You're starting to worry me a little, Naruto. But if you truly do believe that you are able, I shall send you to the village in peace. It would be then that Naruto would leave, alone for the village, hidden in peace. Upon arrival, he would look around. It was a special village, so to speak. And everything around him was, well, special. He looked around and he quite literally saw many things. He saw water. He saw small fires, contained, of course. He saw children playing, adults talking, ninjas sparring. And in the middle of all of them was a decently old man who appeared to be in his 60s or 50s. He stood with his staff, watching everyone, watching every single person play and talk. It was interesting, Naruto thought. He had approached the man with a message. It was written by Lord Third, who wished to have the village hidden in peace, come to an agreement with both the Land of Fire and the Leaf Village itself. The man would read over the village and would tell Naruto that he wishes for peace, but ask his him a question. The man would ask, Naruto, what rank of ninja are you? I am a Kenny. I see. 1 second. I shall be back in a second. What's your name? Naruto Uzumaki, sir. I will be back shortly, Naruto Uzumaki. The old man would go to his chambers and would come out with a piece of paper. He would then rest the piece of paper on a wooden table of sorts as he would grab 2 chairs for himself and for Naruto. He would then look to Naruto and ask, Boy, do you know how to read and write? Yeah, of course I do, but my handwriting, it's quite sloppy. Well, then we can start today. You will write what I say, and then you will relay it to the 3rd Hokage. Are you sure that this is how you choose to write your message? For me to write down what you say and then to tell Lord Third such things? Precisely what I ask of you, actually. Natural spring water. It is peaceful, as is this letter. Have you gotten that so far, young boy? Yeah. Continue on. I wish for peace and only peace within my village. If the leaf secures such an opportunity for my village to be kept out of the way of violence within the Land of Fire, then I do wish to become a part of the Leaf Village. Not a part of it, rather an ally. I wish to remain anonymous, to remain unapart, if that makes sense, of the Leaf Village. I want no part in becoming the Leaf Village. Rather an ally, a separate entity, a separate group, a separate idea. Over the years, the man would take a sip of water. Over the years, the Leaf has been in many conflicts. I wish no part in that if a future conflict was to come. Though I would send my men, some of my men, some of my greatest ninja. I would not wish for my own village to partake in such violence and war. See to it that that is heard by the 3rd Hokage. My answer is yes.
Now, young Naruto, I ask you a question. You told me earlier that you were a genin. Are you a normal genin? Are you your ordinary genin in the Bleak Village? Naruto would lie. Well, he just wouldn't tell the truth. I mean, I guess I am special, as is really everyone in the world, you know? Everybody's pretty special. In their own ways, you know? But yeah, I'm just a genin. Your average genin. Okay. I have a question. Do you want peace or do you want war? To further peace. I believe that life should be cherished to the fullest. That each second that we spend in life should be spent breathing in the cool air. You see, just like that, I have wasted 3 seconds breathing. A sniffle, that's another second, you know? So I think that every single step of the way in my life should be spent living and cherishing each moment. I believe that that is what I want for the people of the Leaf Village as well. War incites violence and vengeance, rage and hate. It even sometimes diminishes hope. All I see is blood when I think of war. And that's a waste. Ninja like me going out to war to fight off another village or another person. Another group of people with the same ideals as myself. Fighting on different sides, forced to fight even. That's not right, not at all. I believe that war breeds peace. But if peace is to happen, then blood is to be spilled. I can never imagine a reality where true peace occurs, where blood is not on the ground, you know? That's my answer. I know it didn't wasn't a clear answer and didn't answer your question necessarily in full, but it's all I got, you know? I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but I'm not the dumbest either. You know quite a lot about yourself, young boy. Would you like to stay here in the Peaceful Village? In the village and in the beast? Would you like to, I don't know, take up residence here maybe? Live here, create a family here? No, not at all, but thank you for your offer. I believe that my business is within the Leaf Village, you know? And that it will forever be within the walls of the Leaf Village that I reside for the most part. So unfortunately, I can't take up your offer. What is your name? Funny you ask. My name is Pisa. Huh? Naruto would look around. Who said that? Wow. Okay. So your name's Piso? Well, yes, my name is Piso, but I am right here. Naruto would look to his left and then to his right. On his right, he saw a very big man. He was huge, in resemblance to that of, say, the Hulk or a very muscular person. Then he would look in front of him. He saw a pretty frail man who appeared to be delicate, old, and you get the point. He would then look back and forth, and he would ask, "Does this mean that both of your names are Piso?" "Yes, Naruto, this is my grandson. Piso the Third." "Oh, okay. That is super cool," Naruto would say. Negotiations would be met, and Naruto would shortly afterwards, spending one day at an inn in the village and in peace, would leave. Leaving at the start of day, he would get home before 5 p.m. It would be there that he would convey his message to Lord Third, as Lord Third would go himself to the village hidden in peace, just for a short time, and very, very quickly. It would be here that he would formally shake Piso's hand, as well as Piso's son and Piso's grandson's hands. He would agree to peace within the village and in peace, and would also agree in shared resources, such as trade, and even in some ways economy. That was a real cough. I don't know, something's going on in my throat. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would arrive back home, and as he did, he slept. After giving his message to the Lord Third, of course. With that being said, he slept soundly in his own bed, but it was only a nap for about 2 hours. It would be then that Kakashi would knock on his door. Naruto would answer, and Kakashi would tell him that the tuning exams are soon. Naruto remembered that the tuning exams are exactly how you become a Chunin. So, they became very important in Naruto's mind, and they became almost the only thing, that he could think of. And when I say only, I mean only. It was on his mind constantly. Becoming a Chunin, and then becoming a Jonin, and then becoming the Hokage. But with that being said, not all things are achieved in such a way. And definitely not becoming a ninja. Or the Hokage. So with that being said, Naruto would partake in the Chunin exams. Everything is going to go about the same besides Naruto getting a 9 out of 10 instead of his original score in the canon. With that being said, in the Forest of Death, everything goes according to plan, except for when they encounter Orochimaru. After Naruto unleashes his Nine-Tails chakra, he is bludgeoned by Orochimaru in this timeline, passing out. He would almost immediately awake to see Sasuke and Sakura in harm's danger. Or rather, in harm's way. With that being said, he would jump, saving both of them from Orochimaru. And with that, Naruto would take a sword and a kunai. A kunai to his arm and a sword to his chest, directly through one of his organs. Naruto would cough. Oh, damn it. Damn it. I said I would cherish these lives, not risk my life for people I care for. Orochimaru. Snake Sonic. Right. I read about you somewhere, or maybe I heard about it. It doesn't really matter. There is a blade inside of my left lung, I think. Either that or I don't know. Can you pull it out? And maybe can you not try to attack my teammates? Naruto would grit his teeth and his hand would clench. You see, evils incarnates, as they die, they become closer to becoming an incarnate. Although this does come with power, intelligence, speed, etc. It also comes with rage, hate, and love to further this hate. Hate powers evils incarnates much more than any training can. You come into a forest filled with Genin. Genin! You know that, right? And what do? You attack the smallest fish? Or you attack the fish that you please to attack. Attack the fish that you want to attack. I have a theory. You want Sasuke over there. You want him all to yourself. Is that right? Am I right? You want something that he has, something that he is. Unfortunately, I cannot give that to you. Unfortunately, you will never have that Orochimaru. Or maybe fortunately, I'm not sure yet. But you're endangering all of the Genin in this forest. Never mind my squad, which you have beaten beyond compare. You know, I'm not fond of people like you. People who attack weaker people. For some odd reason, it angers me. It makes me feel hatred, Orochimaru. I'm sure you know the feeling of hating something or someone. Well, I now hate you. And thus, you shall feel my wrath. Naruto's hand would lit a blaze. It was now engulfed in fire. It's time. I will end you, Orochimaru. Here and now. Flame style. It should be noted. The people who use, or rather, dip into, the hatred of evil's evil. The people who let the hatred of evil that is naturally within them, as one of evil's incarnates, even if it's only just for a second, they access the hidden abilities of evil. You see, evil was a man born with many powers, but he perplexed the world as his abilities were stronger than others. He also required no hand signs for his jutsus, and could utilize the elements in his own hands. Evil in his normal, less hating life, so to speak, was known as a man who had mastered elements over and over again. Created new elements, sub-elements. Some say that the Sage of Six Paths created the Kekkei Genkai. That the Kekkei Genkai stem from the Sage of Six Paths. But others say that it was evil himself that created Kekkei Genkai. They created things like the Sharingan or Rinnegan, or you get the point. Bone release, that kind of thing. Even ice release. But with that being said, he was most known for being able to utilize the elements in his own palm. And however he saw fit. He could even engulf his whole body in flame, whilst remaining whole and untouched by the fire. Naruto would then yell out, "Flame style! Flame god!" A small godlike being would appear behind Naruto as it would then reach onto his fist. This ability will send you to hell, Orochimaru. I hope you like it. Orochimaru would be slammed into a tree by Naruto. It would be here that fear would truly eclipse Orochimaru's eyes. Fear similar to that he acquired, fighting pain, and that of fighting Itachi as well. Naruto would slam his fist down onto Orochimaru. As with that, he would pick Orochimaru up by the collar. "It seems you're not dead yet, Snake Man. Or should I call you Snake Son in Orochimaru? Earth style!" His hands turned to earth, as he would brutally beat Orochimaru with his now earth hands. I think that burning should do well. If you are to burn, then you cannot come back. Which means that you die, right? That you just die. You know, I wouldn't be so perplexed by the thought of dying and coming back to life if I hadn't experienced it myself. Naruto would say this quietly, knowing that only Orochimaru could hear it, so his own teammates wouldn't know that he can basically literally cheat death, even though that they have seen it themselves. And, well, knowing that Orochimaru would never come to figure this out in true, as he would be dead, in Naruto's eyes at least, then he would tell him that he can cheat death. With that, he would raise his hand to the sky. It's over, Orochimaru. Flame style. Flame Commander. Hell's Gate. Naruto would punch his fist right through Orochimaru, as Orochimaru's body would be sent into a fiery pit of fire. His body was set ablaze completely, and all that remained was a snake that slithered under a few trees. Naruto was a fool. He saw the snake, but he disregarded it. He should have taken it as a sign of Orochimaru being alive. Orochimaru would slither with that snake all the way back to one of his hideouts, where he would take the body of Kidomaru, the spider guy, if you guys can remember. You guys get the point. The one that Neji thought. With that being said, in Kidomaru's body, he would sit, contemplating. You see, it has been shown that Orochimaru can take on the bodies of other people. For instance, Sasuke. He died and took on Sasuke's body. And thus, he can basically jump curse marks. This is kind of what he did with Kidomaru. This time doing it a little differently because he is just a snake instead of a actual whole person, or sort of whole, whatever you want to call it. With that being said, it all remains to be the same. Naruto is powerful, and Naruto defeated Orochimaru. He defeated Orochimaru, now has wasted a valuable vessel in coming back to life because he was killed trying to take the Sharingan. By what or by whom? He can only describe as a deliverer of death, a messenger even of death. Someone who sent him into a fiery pit. With that being said, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would finish the Chunin exams exactly how it should be finished, obtaining all the scrolls and leaving the Forest of Death. Everything else in the forest continues as per usual. Gaara does what he does, and so does everybody else. Though, the sound encounter with Dosu never happens in this timeline. At all. It just doesn't. And Sasuke in this timeline does not have the curse mark either. Meaning that Sasuke has no curse mark, and while Naruto comes out unscathed, with the same fate being related to Sakura and Sasuke. They are all unscathed coming out of the Forest of Death. Sasuke, no curse mark. Sakura, no bruises, no cuts, no scratches, which is surprising. And Naruto, no pain whatsoever was really, befell him as he healed from most injuries. With that being said, Eva was also known for his great healing abilities, which is why Naruto is healed even faster than in the original timeline. With that being said, Naruto would report what he had done / known to the third Hokage, who congratulated Naruto on killing Orochimaru, but also questioned how Naruto did so. Asking no further questions, he believed Orochimaru to still be alive. With that being said, Naruto would leave Lord Hokage's office. We now have a time skip, far past the Chunin exams. The Chunin exams go nearly the same as they did, with no interruptions this time. Lord Third does not die. And, well, the Sound and Sand Villages do not enact a great plan of war against the Leaf Village. Because it can't happen, it never does. Orochimaru is long gone, and the Sound, with no leader, have no orders. The Sand go in blindly, without the help of the Sound. Naruto defeats Gaara, still gives him his classic Talk no Jutsu, but defeats him nevertheless. Naruto, still training with Jiraiya in this timeline, does end up learning the Summoning Jutsu. And with that, being a faster learner in this timeline due to the challenges of evil, he also manages to start learning the Rasengan. In its basic stages, the whole balloon popping thing, but he starts to learn it nevertheless. With that being said, we now have a small time skip of about 1 month. Orochimaru enters the village as Kidomaru. Naruto was going to leave the village for a late midnight stroll as he walks past Kitamaru. Kitamaru realizes it's Naruto. Kitamaru, who is actually Orochimaru. As Orochimaru would smirk, Naruto gone is a good thing. Naruto leaving the village is a good thing. With that, Naruto would continue on his way, as he would realize something was up. The presence he felt, it was akin to Orochimaru, almost exactly the same. Naruto would disappear and reappear. Kitamaru would look back. Naruto was nowhere to be found. As Naruto now stood, well, he stood in a tree, watching Orochimaru. Naruto would grit his teeth. I killed him with my own hands. Urokage looked surprised that Orochimaru had died. Does Orochimaru too possess the ability to cheat death? Is he immortal? Naruto would grab onto his blade. Let's find out. With that, he would cut down Kitamaru, who would fall to the ground before getting up soon afterwards. Naruto, I wish you no harm. And you will leave the village and tell me how you sit here before me, alive and well, Orochimaru, Snake Sani. I killed you in the forest of death. You died there. By my hand. I saw to it that that was your fate. And it was your fate. So I am asking you why the hell you are sitting before me on the ground as Orochimaru the Snake Sani. Do you have the ability to cheat death? Are you immortal? No. Unfortunately, I do not share the same gift that you have. But I have acquired a form of immortality. I can, in a way, take on other bodies. I see. So this is an innocent body that you have taken. Why shouldn't I end it? Because you would be ending the innocent life as well. But if it eases your conscience, this man participated in giving his life for me in the first place. I see. Well, then you will leave. I have honor. I won't kill you for no reason, Orochimaru. But if I see your face in this village ever again, I will see to it that you are killed by my hand once more. And if you remain alive in some unorthodox way, some weird way that you can somehow be alive, then I will kill you again. And again. And again. I will hunt you down like the snake you are. And then I will drive my fist through your chest. Understood? And with that, we have completed part 1 of What If Naruto Had 9 Lives. This what if can also be called What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Evil. This should, in theory, be a 3 to 4 part series. Hopefully, if everything gets done how I want it to get done, if everything follows the storyline that I need it to follow, then that is how long it will be, which is hopefully how long it is, as that would be really good. But with that being said, that is only a hope. It's not known. If it is under 3 or 4 parts, then it will definitely get a part 2, as long as the like goal, which I'll set it very, very low. 100 likes. No. 200 to 400 likes, and I will immediately get started on working on part 2 of this what if. But with that being said, Rami X out. Happy birthday to me. Mind the audio on this being a little echoey. I'm in a room with a lot of echo. The rest of this video does not contain the same echo that this room has. But all I'm saying is it would be appreciated if you guys did wish me a happy birthday in the comments, as I put a lot of time into this video, and I actually recorded this video on the day of my birthday. The last part was put up on my birthday, and this part was recorded on my birthday. Hopefully I can get another what if that is also recorded on my birthday. Anyways, enjoy the video. Rami back for another video. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, we can begin the video. Though it would also be appreciated if you shared the video to a friend who likes what ifs, or just commented down below, as well. I would appreciate that. With that being said, we can now fully begin the video. What if Naruto had 9 lives? Part 2. Quick recap. In the last part, we basically ended off with a end of ends, kind of. I wouldn't really know how to explain it, but Naruto had basically scared the hell out of Orochimaru, who had tried to enter the village once more after Naruto had already defeated him. Naruto basically said the following, that he will hunt Orochimaru down if he was ever shown his face again in the Leaf Village. Hunt him down and down until he ceases to exist any longer. But with that being said, I feel that is a decent recap. I hope you all are having an amazing day, night, evening, afternoon, anything like that. I just hope you guys are having a good day, and I wish you all good health and good prosperity. Yeah, that's about it, and we can now fully begin the video. Rami X, present. After telling Orochimaru these words, Orochimaru would run away from Naruto, running outside of the Leaf's border and leaving, getting out of Naruto's sight, far, far from it. Orochimaru was scared of no man more than he was scared of Naruto. To him, Naruto was the messenger of the devil, somebody who was so... Naruto scared him a lot, is basically what I'm trying to say. With that being said, Naruto would ask Lord Third of another mission. Somewhere he could go to take his mind off of something. And somewhere that was going to be kind of a challenge. And he would. He would let him go to another village. The village was known as Ball Village. The village hidden in balls. The Lord Third would explain how it's not too far off of the Land of Fire's border, that he will be accompanied by 3 Jonin, and due to the fact that it is close to enemy lines and territory, and that it is also a place to entertain yourself. The village, as it's just, is the village hidden in balls, and that is because they play games: soccer, ball, football, basketball, tennis ball, volleyball, golf ball, you get the point. But they also have many circuses that run all day and all night. With that being said, Naruto would accept, gladly even. It was a C to B rank mission, possible A if a threat was to truly occur, due to enemy nations, of course. And Naruto gladly accepted this. With that, he would walk to the village with 3 other Jonin, who will stay unnamed for now unless I decide to give them a name later on. Upon arriving in the village, they realized that something was wrong. That something was very, very wrong. And upon talking to the village Kage, Lord, Leader, whatever you want to call it or him, they realized that something was fishy. The man was a slave master. He kept people that he called his pets to do his every bidding. It would be soon that their fates befell the same. They drank water that was given to them, and this water weakened them, their immune systems, etc., including Naruto, his healing couldn't even help him. He was left a slave to the village hidden in Ball's leader, whose name was SJ. SJ, or sometimes Asaj, would take Naruto and the 3 Jonin accompanying him. They would work for him, do his every bidding. They would make houses for him, clean for him, etc. That's all they did for him. And if they didn't, then he would beat them. It was a really sad fate. He would get beat up by SJ almost every day. Their wills were strong, but Prince, one of the Jonin, he broke. And soon after, Otis, another one of the Jonin, he broke too. They worked every day. It was the same. You work, you build, you get fed. Not little, but you do get fed. You wash yourself if you have the time, and then you continue to work. Disobedience is seen as a threat to SJ, so if you are disobedient in any way, then you are hit, beaten, etc. You are nothing. Whatever pride you had before going there, it's stripped away by the fear that you get from being there. From the fear that you get from being under SJ's boot. And he wasn't just a man who poisoned his slaves and then was able to toss them around like ragdolls. He was truly powerful. He was as strong as any Kage is, and easily was stronger than your average Jonin. Meaning that the pain that he inflicted was as strong as a Jonin, or even a Kage. Because he was strong. Amelia, dear, would you like to fetch the slave boy Naruto? SJ would say, to a young girl who sat always beside him. His adopted daughter, Amelia St. Anne's. Of course I will, father. Amelia would walk to a tavern of sorts, which Naruto had been serving the men there, water, booze, etc. Reluctantly, of course. This was the only time in the day where his chains were off, and his body was so weak that all he could do was pour water. Pour beer, pour ale, pour wine. Sometimes special things like tequila or champagne, but he couldn't fight. He couldn't escape. He could barely run, let alone walk. Amelia would get him, getting him from the tavern and bringing him to the stables. And then, after Naruto fed the cows and whatnot, would bring Naruto to her father. Father, I have brought him. I made him water the stable first. You mean the cows and whatnot? Yes, I made him feed them and water them. Good girl. I am proud. Naruto. Yes, master. I am quite fond of you. I have grown quite fond of you. You see, when you arrived here with Otis, Prince, and some other guy, I can't remember his name. You were strong. All of you were strong. Over the years, at this point, it has only been 1 year, but for Otis, time is, for some reason, much higher perceived, so to speak. And by Otis, I mean SJ. I confused their names. My apologies. With that being said, SJ would continue. I suppose I am preceding myself. You've only been here for a year now, right? Close to it. 11 months and 12 days. I see. You keep count of time, too. Well, it's fitting to say that you were Genin or Chunin when you got here. And the 3 Jonin accompanying you broke. Their wills are completely tied. I can ask them to do anything, and they will not even bat an eye. I could ask them to kill for me, and they would gladly do it. But you wouldn't. I asked you to kill a cow for me, and you sat and let me beat you until you couldn't move or speak. But you still would not kill the cow. Otis, though, I asked him just seconds later, and he assisted Prince in killing 2 lambs and 1 cow. You see how that's odd? The young boy's will surpasses that of men. True men. And my lovely and beautiful daughter here, well, let's just say she needs a husband. She is getting older and older, and we are royalty. Very high and profound royalty. So, I'm just preparing. When she comes of age, 18, 19, I'm thinking that she will be married. But to who? I am thinking a strong man. Someone powerful, someone, you know, honorable, courageous, valiant. Why not you, Naruto? You will be here the rest of your life, as long as you remain my slave. I am gifting you a chance of freedom. Do not insult me by saying no to this offer of taking my daughter's hand in marriage. I see. So you wish me to marry Amelia, Saint Anne, your daughter, your adopted daughter. Must you remind me that she's adopted? She's as good as royalty as I am. And she isn't a peasant like you. Naruto would grit his teeth, clenching his fist. You see, there's that will of yours. Does the pup not wish to bite today? Or are you saving your hatred for another time? You know, I'm getting really sick of you. SJ. Over these past few days, I haven't been drinking that water. It's habit for Otis, Prince, and the man who never told you his name, because he was too scared of you. His name is Monterey, by the way. He was a fine Jonin back when we were still at the Leaf. And he still is. He has strength. And unlike Otis and Prince, he has will, just like I. No, your share of water, it's always gone. Are you insisting something? Are you hinting at something? What are you hinting at? I'm hinting at the fact that each and every day, Monterey drinks my water. I don't drink it. I hate it. But this has only been for a few days, for me to regain my strength. Amelia, your wonderful daughter, your wonderful adoptive daughter, she brings me food, which is what she should do. She gives me a little extra. It helps bolster my strength. Which means that I have had a full 4 days without your water. The water that slows me down, the water that makes me weak. I felt weak earlier today, but it was then that a flood of blood rushed to my fist when I saw Amelia. Because she represents everything that you are. Power, royalty. And so I was angered. And just like that, I no longer was weak. If I were to bet, I can kill you right now, SJ. And I will not be beaten as I was before. Actually, you will get beaten by my hands. Water style. Great flood. Naruto would slam his hand into the floor. Well, SJ, I suppose maybe you should drown, and then I can beat you. No, this is Earth style. Earth barricade. A barricade of Earth style would appear around Amelia, Naruto, and SJ. You see, I don't care of royalty. Special they are, maybe due to connections or an interesting past or family, legacy, origin. I don't care that much, though. You want to know what I really care about? What I really, really care about? My friends. My village. For nearly a whole year now, I haven't been able to see them. Do you know how hard that is? Thinking every day that maybe this is the day that you'll get saved. Thinking that every day maybe this is the day that you will get to return to your village and see your best friends. It's times like that that you think of the little things. passing by a villager that you see every once in a while becomes a nice pastime. Whereas usually a nice pastime would be out with your friends. You know what I mean? Instead, my fate is this. Beaten every day by you, SJ. So you will feel every piece of my hatred. Windstyle, windstorm, wrath of Lord Odin. With that, wind would spiral around SJ, who would use an earth-style jutsu to block out the wind. Do you forget, boy? I am a Jonin myself. I do not care. Lightning style. Spear of Odin. Naruto would send a spear of lightning towards SJ, who would grab onto said lightning, using his own lightning style jutsu. It would be then that he would take hold of the spear, sending it back towards Naruto, who would use an earth style jutsu to cancel out the lightning. Fine. Flame style. Flame commander. I've used this technique once before. I killed the man I used it on. Fiery pits, I'd say. It only serves you right, SJ, for what you've done to me and my men. Or the 3 men that served with me, rather. Now die! Flame Commander! Naruto would yell this as flames would set ablaze SJ. Amelia would smile. You see, she too was a victim of SJ. Sometimes she would be beaten, sometimes she wouldn't be. And so she was happy, seeing the death of her quote-unquote adopted father. With that, Naruto would leave the village, but before doing so, he would receive a kiss on the cheek from Amelia. Naruto. Yes, Amelia. What is it? Do not die. Wherever you go, I do not know. Maybe back to your... Maybe back to your... Are you okay, Amelia? That water. It was specifically designed by me and SJ. But he gives it to me as well. It is a poison, a sort of toxin designed from a part of my blood. My family is royalty because our blood is poisonous to others. You see, it would be pretty dangerous if you spilled our blood and then it dripped on you and your skin was now acid. He makes me drink the water that is created from my blood, or purified from it. Now think of that times 10. The effects are only amplified if you are a member of the St. Anne's family. He knows this, which means that for years now, my body has been tearing apart. I fear that I have only a few years left to live. No, that's not right. No, Amelia, no. This can't be the truth. It is, I swear. Actually, I fear that I only have a few months to live. Less, probably. If I'm lucky, I have a year. If I'm unlucky, 1 month. If I'm even less lucky, but a few weeks. I won't make it past the new year. No, don't speak of such things. Don't ever speak of such things. I will stay. I will stay. We will live here. You will be happy in your last months, days, years. I don't care how long it is, as long as you're happy. You'll be happy with me, right? Naruto, I've liked you since the day that you came here. And I was joyed when my father mentioned a marriage. When my adoptive father mentioned a marriage. When my forgotten father mentioned a marriage. When my dead father mentioned a marriage. She would smile, dropping a tear. So if we can be together for my last moments on this earth, then thank you, Naruto. I will do everything to make you happy as well. And with that, that was true. They were both happy together until the very end. And it was there that, whilst holding Naruto's hand and watching birds fly as the stars were present in the sky, they would smile, and Naruto would embrace Amelia in her final moments on Earth. Naruto looked down, and what had happened? At Amelia. As he would shed a tear, burying her body and marking it himself, he would leave, and returning back to the Leaf Village, he would tell Lord Third of all that had happened. And Lord Third would be astonished. Sasuke at this point has been training with Kakashi, and Sakura has been training with Tsunade. Naruto has been left behind in a way. This made him angry with himself. As he stood atop the highest building in the Leaf Village, a sort of beacon, with the trauma of being a slave of Asache haunting him each and every day, he would take his own life, falling down. It would be there that he fell, that he would be caught. His life would be saved by a girl with lavender purple hair, pinkish white eyes, and a smile that made her look exactly like Amelia. She wore attire that he didn't recognize. He hadn't been in the village for about a year now. And so he looked at her. He looked into her eyes as he was being held by her, as she blushed. "Don't look at me like that, Naruto. You're making me blush," the girl would say. "Yeah, we've met before." "Sorry, I'm seeing a lot of faces that get familiar, and then I remember their names. We have met before. You're Hinata Hyuga, right?" "Yeah, I heard about what happened. You were a slave to some guy named SJ or SJ or something. I'm sorry for what happened to you. It wasn't your fault. They shouldn't have sent you. It was my request. They should have sent me because that's what I wanted. Unfortunately, I didn't know what would happen. Nobody did, actually. Which means that it's nobody's fault, and which in turn means that that I'm the only one to blame. And SJ, who was snap dead. Listen, Hinata, in these past few months, it feels like death only follows me. I am blinded by your beauty, Hinata, and your charm. You're really, really pretty, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I know that I cannot talk to you much longer, because I don't want you to die. I don't want you to get hurt, I don't want you to get injured, and that's what will happen if I continue to talk to you. If I fall in love with you, you know? No, I don't know what you're saying, Naruto. Let's be friends then. We can be friends, and you won't fall in love, right? Right. We can be friends, Hinata. This friendship quickly grew to love, and Naruto and Hinata would start dating. End of story. No, I'm just kidding. With that being said, after this, he would venture out to meet Sasuke and Sakura. They would catch up, and they would also be pleased to all see each other in the same place. Sasuke would tell Naruto that he's sorry about the stuff that he experienced, and that it was probably hell. And Sakura would say nearly the exact same thing. Everybody in the village they all apologized to Naruto for what he went through. Otis, Prince, and Monterey. They returned to the village in worse states than Naruto. Naruto had trauma, maybe even PTSD, but Otis, Prince, and Monterey, they were a former shell of who they were. All accomplished jonin with life set ahead of them. They returned the people who could barely form sentences. People who would scream in their sleep, thinking that they were still living the nightmare that they thought they had been in. Which they were in. It was sad, truly. Naruto to watch how he had been spared from such things. How he had been spared by fate itself. From becoming a man with the inability to even form a word. Due to trauma and PTSD, waking up in his sleep, randomly and screaming, thinking that he was living a nightmare. He could only imagine how that would feel for Otis, Monterey, and even Prince. But he couldn't think on it too much, because it made him very sad. It made him remember the pain that he and the jonin felt. But there was still jonin in Naruto's mind, even if everybody else had forgotten who they were after they had come back. If they had forgotten of their skills and of their reputation, Naruto always remembered. These were the men that were enslaved with him by Saj. He would always remember who they were. But whilst being a slave of Saj, he heard many things. Being Uto. Naruto heard of this and how they killed in his name. They worshipped him, brought him blood, brought him ninja, to convert into their religion of goodism. Where they kill in the name of good, for they kill for Uto. It was really messed up in Naruto's eyes, but he had heard many things about it and how it was uprising from nation to nation. Fiji, the group that they called themselves, was growing stronger by the day, in the words of many men in the village and the balls. With that being said, Naruto would sleep. He would sleep happily that night, with not a care in his mind. Several days later, Naruto would wake up. He had been in a dream for several days. It was actually interesting, as while he was in this dream, he was sweating, and from time to time he would awake coughing up blood and other fluids. Naruto had no recollection of this. It was as if it never happened in his mind. It was as if he had forgotten it. But what he did not forget was what he saw while he was asleep. He saw ninja, lots of them, gathering what is known as the bones of Uto. You see, Uto, the man who, well, was quite literally the reincarnation of good, as opposed to Naruto being the reincarnation of evil. Well, let's just say, to be simple, he can fully be resurrected. You see, Uto is a constant in the world, as is evil. Evil is a constant through his numerous incarnations over the years. And Uto, well, he shares a similar status. But those who he decides to incarnate into have their bodies taken completely. It's not a slow process, 9 lives kind of thing. It's instant. Minutes, seconds even. And the host is completely Uto's. You see, Uto is a near divine being, a near immortal being. And thus, he can only sustain true immortality if he is nearly forever alive. Out of the time that Uto has not been a constant in the world through either his incarnates or physical manifestations of his own body over several centuries, the time it is accounted to is only 1 minute, as most of his incarnates submits within 1 to 5 seconds. And if he has a new incarnate every 50 to 100 years, it's really simple for it to only be 1 minute where he's not actually living and breathing as a physical manifestation of some sort, or within an incarnate. With that being said, it is said that Uto's followers, the members of Fiji, if they can gather all 27 of Uto's bones, the original Uto that is, including Uto's heart, then they will never... Now, let me get a side note in here real quickly. Sorry for this note. I'm kinda not sick. I don't know, it's just sinuses. Anyways, though you can gather his bones, you must have the heart in the center of his bones for this to work. Never mind the fact that there's one other thing that must be noted. Uto, who some refer to as Saint Uto, only has 27 bones. This is different than a regular human. Humans have many bones. I believe it numbers the hundreds, right? But for Uto, this is different, because he is a near divine being. Let's just say his body does not follow the laws of an ordinary human or anything of the sort. And thus, he only has 27 bones and a heart to keep blood flowing through his body. With that being said, Fiji, thus far, has gathered 21 of Saint Uto's body bones. Body pieces, I was going to say, but body bones, just, I don't know. Since they are bones and not necessarily body pieces, but I'm sure you all know what I mean. With that being said, Naruto saw this. He saw the men collecting the bones and how far they went for them. Several went east. Others went north. Some south and some even west. Some went deep into the hidden stone village to find only 8 of the bones. Some did the same in the cloud, only to find 4. And so on and so forth. They scoured, quite literally, the world for these pieces and fragments of Uto. It is unknown why Uto's followers, the members of Fiji, are so heavy with faith. But it is believed that for every 100,000 Fiji members, there is one who has the ability of immortality. Now, you may be asking, 100,000? That's quite a bit. Even for an organization that is said to be around for centuries, even. Well, there is a somewhat suitable explanation. Uto's men have an aura to them, so to speak. What I mean by that is they have a strong allure, a strong pull when trying to convert somebody to their faith. Utoism, to be more exact, or some believe it to be called Goodism. Well, almost all people they try to convert follow. And thus, usually their target is bandits or rogue ninja. And thus, over the years, they assemble tens of thousands of men. Currently, they have a number of 400,000. With 4 of its members having the immortality that is granted to each 100,000 members of Utoism. It is also known that Utoism brings great charm to one. And by charm, I mean people are guided to them, not just those who they want to convert to Utoism or Goodism, whatever you want to call it, but normal people. And all appear to be youthful, even when they age, with long hair, usually and mostly, that strings down even to their legs if they want it to, with eyes that pierce the kindest of souls, and even the strongest. That is how people describe them. With that being said, Naruto saw all of this, and as one of evil's reincarnates who have already lost their first life, he was guided to find them. To do what, you may ask? To kill them. To kill the members of Utoism, as it was natural. You could even say that at this point it would be known as Naruto's nature. We now skip to a dark and black room. Two people stand in the room. One is the current body of Uto, and the other, what one would be named as a priest of Uto. Someone who would be known as a priest of Uto. Uto, in, well, his current host, would speak. Have you gathered it? Have I gathered what, Lord? Have you gathered the relics? Do you mean your bones? Yes, I mean my bones. Have you gathered them? Well, not all of them yet. How many do you have in your possession? We have 21, sir. That's good news. That is very good news. 6 more, and I will be complete. I will reach ascension. And my use for these incarnates will be no more. Do you really wish to never be an incarnate again? Well, priest, if you were, let's say, in my shoes, and you were a widely feared man, but every 50 years, you have to rebuild this reputation. 50 to 100, it doesn't matter. And rebuild it. And rebuild it and rebuild it. You have prophets of your own, monks of your own, priest and priestess of your own, that live longer than you do. And you must convince them that you are who you say you are. That you are Uto. Now tell me, when these bodies start to fail you, when they get old and frail, and you think back on your original body, a body that was everlasting, a body that was constant in this world and the next, which one would you prefer? And answer truthfully. I would prefer my original body. I understand your analogy, Lord. Good. Now you will leave this place before the darkness here consumes you. I see it, Lord. Then you must go if you see it. You must run as far away as you can. And when you get away, when you get far, far away, only then can you... Can I what, Lord? Only then can you be free from the darkness's allure. Now run! Run, priest, run! Uta would say. You see, at this point, Uta's current incarnate has reached an eclipse, a climax, a stagnant, a plateau. You see, Uta's current incarnate is failing him. His current incarnate has been diseased, you could say. He has gotten a disease of some sort that is eating away at his body. And the original evil, well, I'll explain it quickly. You see, Uto had bestowed many things upon evil's incarnates, just as evil had managed to do the same. On a lesser scale, as he did not possess as much power, not even close, well, in a way. But it still happened. And to be frank, Uto had a curse put on him by evil. The curse was simple, yet unorthodox and unique. Let's say one of Uto's incarnates was, I don't know, stabbed in an artery or in an area. Then Uto's incarnate would lie in a pit of darkness for as long as that wound is visible, or is still, hurting, or let's say a wound closes, then Uto would be out of this darkness. But as long as his life is close to death, or in heavy danger, due to a wound that has already been inflicted, / is already, there, then he will stay like that for almost ever. And it's as simple as that. It was evil's greatest curse on the incarnates. Well, one of them. With that being said, Uta would cough up some blood as the priest would get far away from the darkness, leaving the room. The darkness also pulls in those with good nature. The more good nature you have, the more you get pulled into the darkness. And thus, for somebody like Uto, the darkness is constantly dragging at him. And in this current incarnate's body, he is damned to live with darkness for the rest of his days. Forever, he will be pulled by the allure of darkness, and forever he will fight it. But darkness is usually stronger than light in the first place. So some days he fails to open his eyes in the pit of darkness. Not that he would be able to see in the first place. And some days he sits and he thinks and he wishes only for his true body. Anywho, with that being said, it was quite simple. This is what Naruto saw in his dream. And he knew exactly where the saints and priestess, as well as priest, of Uta were. And so Naruto would leave at nightfall that day. He would enter a camp filled with members of Utoism. And it was as if being guided by the devil himself that he would kill every member of Utoism. Granted, the people he were killing were bad people in essence. Their actions were bad, but they felt that they had good intention. But either way, they had killed many people before. Many innocent people before. But either way, Naruto killed them all 390 people were killed by Naruto's blade that day. And so Naruto sat alone in his own pit of darkness. It would be then that he would reach another camp. But this camp, it made him want to kill more. So much that it was the only thing on his mind. And within, he felt a disgusting presence. It was one of the immortals of Uto. One of the people who would be known to be called the 4 heavenly angels. The 4 heavenly saints of Udo. Grand Priestess. Grand Priest. Grand Saint. It was then that Naruto would kill nearly all of the men in the camp. This time, they only numbered 100, but they were stronger than the ones that he encountered before. And as he walked out of the camp, filled with tents, homes, etc., that had been homed to many people who believed in Narutoism. Bad people, to be more exact. He saw a man in front of him. This man now appeared behind him and yet again in front of him. Naruto paused. Another survivor. Fine. I'll kill you like the rest of them. Naruto would bring out his blade. His eyes were crimson red. The person that you all know was no longer Naruto. This was evil himself, actually. Taking a hold on Naruto's soul. And so now we switch to a place filled with both light and darkness. On one end, there was a beast scratching away at his cage inside of Naruto. This is the Ninetales. Somebody who we all know as Kurama, the QB. One of the tailed beast, the Ninetales fox, the demon fox. But on the other hand, on the other side of Naruto's conscious, is a man named Evil, grabbing Naruto and holding him still, latching on to Naruto's soul. Naruto fights Evil's grasp, but in the presence of members of Utoism, Naruto isn't himself. Far from it. Naruto is barely even... Let's just say Naruto is barely even strong. Because what makes Naruto strong is not his power, but it's his morals. And this Naruto does not have any. You could actually call this Naruto evil. Like, evil. E-V-I-L-L. Anyhow, the member of Utoism would see the rage and darkness within Naruto's eyes and would say the following. I am member of Uto. They call me Eris. Eris, you say? Well, do you know what they call me? No, but whatever you are a damnation of evil, and thus you must perish. You're right about that. But you're wrong as well. Because I'm not merely a manifestation of evil. I am evil. What's your name again? Eris? You know, this Utoism that you follow. Several years ago, well, for me, several centuries, or for you, I guess, it doesn't really matter. Members of Utoism were members of evilism. Members who served me. You see, I created the religion that is now known as Utoism, because even I knew that there was to be a balance. That where there is good, there must be dark. Where there is light, there must be dark. Where there's evil, there must be light. Yin and yang, my friend. I am not my true form, obviously. Look at me. I am in the body of a mere boy. My hair is blonde yellow. He would pull a strand of Naruto's hair out and fling it to the ground. But most of all, I am merely an incarnate of evil. This is the true evil speaking to you. I do not have a hold on this body much longer. But with the hold that I do have, I will kill you. Uto, Archangel. Naruto would crack his neck. You see, I'm not really fond of you. One of the men given immortality by Uto himself. Well, Eris, it is your lucky day. If you kill me, you kill Uto's greatest enemy. Not like I won't return again, but, you know. More the merrier, am I right? Evil within Naruto's body would appear in front of Eris. You know, Eris, he would then begin to choke him. You know, I have lived for centuries now. And though my true body remains locked away in a pit of light, in a beacon of light, I can appear here before you and talk to you. Oh, do you know how long it has been since I've talked to a human in the flesh? He would put down Eris from choking him. Eris would gasp for breath. You're insane, not just evil. Oh my God. It has been decades since I have been able to even crack my knuckles. Do you know how amazing cracking my knuckles is? You wouldn't even believe it if I could tell you. You said that you have full control over this host. Why can't you tell me a mere simple thing as how good it feels to crack your knuckles? That means that the incarnate is still within you, Uto. He cursed you so that your incarnates had good nature. This spell that I am to cast, this jutsu that I am to cast, will bring out the good nature in your incarnate. Come forth, incarnate of evil. Bring forth your true manifestation of good and holiness. You're speaking to a mere boy. He will never hear you. What are you doing to me? I am removing you from something that you should never be in. A mere boy. So you're sparing my incarnate. You know, I will make you pay for this. Evil would continue to cough up blood within Naruto's body. If I can, if I have to, I will remove both you and your incarnate from this world. Though I absorb darkness from those who I channel good nature into. There is always a flaw in a jutsu, a spell, magic, whatever you archangels call it now. That was all I wanted to know. Well, you know, a clock a pendulum to be more exact, would appear in Evil's hand as he would continue to tap at it. Well, time is ticking, am I right, my friend? And since this is the defect of your great spell, how much more of my darkness can you absorb, Aris? Oh, my wings! Are they turning black like charcoal? Or gray like thunder? I know. It hurts, doesn't it? Your power, your divine and holy power is being stripped away from you, isn't it? It's not my fault, might I add. But it's all the same. You are dying, Aris, and the darkness within you eats away at you, chomps at the good that is left. And when it is done with you, I can't talk much longer. Though I mock your spell, I even call it useless in some ways. It does work, and I can feel my own body pulling apart. I'm no fool, might I add. I'm not the kind of guy to sit around while his host is decaying. And I've been talking to you for quite a long time now, haven't I? So I suppose I will end things. The real Uto, sitting in a pit of darkness. He usually watches his followers, and he can feel when there is a disturbance. A disturbance as big as, let's say, 300 to 500 members of Utoism. That can, give him a bit of a hint. It can trigger a bit of his foresight to look and see what's happening. But a member of his holy four divine, great archangels losing their grace, losing their good, well, that cannot be excused from his foresight. He can see everything that's happening as they speak. I suppose I will end this now, Aris. Naruto, being controlled by evil, would outstretch his hand. As darkness, a black substance, would appear around his hand, taking the form of a string, or even a rope, it seemed. It would fly to Aris. Aris, let my allure pull you in. This is meant for you. You're meant to be evil. Now give in to your temptation, you lowly servant of Uto. Evil would pull. With that, resistance would be met. But Aris, his heart, would now rest in evil's hand. Naruto couldn't do this. Killing somebody so good, even though he was evil's reincarnation, he couldn't stand for it. And so, he fought it. But evil's pull was too strong. When in the presence of a real archangel, Naruto can't do anything, especially if his own life was threatened. Earlier, Aris made a comment. It was about killing both Naruto and evil. Meaning that, through both his nature through evil, and his own human nature, his human instincts, he cannot spare the man. Because if he does, then he will die. And there will be nothing left of him. With that, Naruto would let evil control his body. Well, Aris, he would look into Aris's eyes, which were now light blue with charisma. They changed. His eyes were originally brown. One was brown, and the other was hazel green. Wow, I'm no fool. Uto, are you watching me now? Uto was in fact watching him. Well, I have only one thing to tell you. This is my current incarnate. His name is Naruto. He fights me off well. So don't kill him until we get to meet each other once more. Oh, and this. He has his own beast. It is foretold within my own psyche that he will conquer and triumph this beast. So, yet again I ask you to not kill this vessel of mine, even if you want to. So lay your paws off of him, Uto. I will spare this archangel of yours if you can promise me that. Uto would take hold of the archangel's body. Something that he can do. Taking hold of his servant's bodies. It is I, Uto, who now speaks to you. Let my archangel go. Let your archangel go. It's not that simple. I need your word. I need you to swear to me that you will lay your hands off of this incarnate. You know I cannot do that. You threaten an archangel. Evil would reach deeper and deeper into Aris's heart, grabbing it and starting to pull it out. Uto, you can feel your servant's pain. Do you wish for him to die by the hands of evil himself? You said that you cannot because you are sparing him. You said that you cannot because you cannot spare somebody who threatens an archangel. Well, let me tell you this, Uto. Or should I refer to you as your real name? Uto Good, leader of Goodism, servant of evil, leader of Goodism. You mustn't refer to me by that title. That was a millennia ago. I am no longer your servant, evil. And you shall know that. But yes, you can be spared. Good. That's the right decision. Rather alive, half heart taken archangel than a dead, no heart taken archangel. Archangel, they paint. I will take my leave now, and you will not hurt this body. Goodbye, Uto. Naruto's eyes would return to a normal color. And Uto, controlling his servant's body, would take the archangel back to him, where Uto would restore the archangel's wings and bring him back to the light. With that being said, this is where I'm going to end this part. By the way, this is being recorded on my birthday. It just became my birthday, I'm actually looking at my Naruto clock right now. There is no batteries in it right now, so it is not moving, but I did go and look. I think the time is, I'm actually going to check while this video is playing, so, don't at me, guys. But the time is, a lot of ums here, how it'd be. 12:26, so 26 minutes ago, it became my birthday. Yeah, if you guys could wish me a happy birthday, even though this won't be put up on my birthday is August 31st, for any wondering, but it would still be appreciated. I should put a similar message to this in the front of the video, but that depends on if I remember it. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it'd be deeply appreciated. And with that being said, Rami X out. I have a what if to go and make. Rami X, back with another video. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, this is What If Naruto Had 9 Lives. Part 3, and this should be the final part if everything goes according to plan. This part might be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. It really just depends on a lot of things. But, with that being said, we can now get into the video. Naruto would wake up in his bed. This is now part 3 of What If Naruto Had 9 Lives, so this is where we're going to be picking up. As Naruto awoke, he felt a little different. You could even say a little strange. And when he looked at his hands, they were covered in blood. This was the blood of the Archangel Aris. With that being said, Naruto would look around him. How did he even get to his bed? He doesn't even remember going to sleep. Never mind leaving the house. With that, he would go and grab some ramen, putting it on the table as he would pour some water into the ramen, eating it. Naruto ate his ramen. With that, he looked around, absorbing his surroundings once more. It was as if little things mattered a lot more to him now. The birds chirping outside of his window, the sunlight shining through his window, the cabinets in his apartment, the dirty floor, that kind of thing. It was as if his senses had been advanced in a way. This was in part due to the fact that evil had taken control over Naruto's body as a vessel, something that evil cannot do all the time. There is specific circumstances that have to be met. For instance, for evil's other incarnates, this is very, very hard for him to do. It requires a lot of his spiritual pressure and his spiritual body. Weird concepts that will be explained later in this What If. I promise, kinda. I might forget. But with that being said, it's pretty simple. Just as Uto has a spiritual and physical form, evil has a spiritual and physical form as well. His spiritual form is very akin to Uto's spiritual form, but his physical is not, as his physical form is not his real body. For instance, right now, in the present, his physical form would be Naruto Uzumaki. But, obviously, certain requirements have to be met for him to take advantage of Naruto as a vessel as well. It's his incarnate, not his actual body. With that being said, Naruto would leave his house. As just as he left, he would bump into Kakashi, who would tell Naruto that he was just about to knock on his door and tell him that the tuning exams are coming up. 1 week passes, and everything in the tuning exams is going to go pretty straightforward as it did in the canon. The whole force of death thing, etc. Well, until Naruto unleashes the Nine Tails Chakra. Naruto is still pushed into his QB rage, but when Orochimaru basically knocks Naruto out over a tree branch, this is where Naruto would wake up. As he would stand to his feet, Orochimaru was stunned. A mere boy being able to take on this much damage. Even if this boy was the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki, it was still a feat nevertheless. Orochimaru looked down at Naruto. As soon he would be looking up, Naruto appeared in front of Orochimaru and then above him. It was here that Naruto would put both of his hands together, slamming them down into Orochimaru and causing Orochimaru to have a massive headache. You leave, Genin, thinking you can push me around like this. You will pay for this, Uzumaki Naruto. I'll pay. Actually, I think you're the only one that's gonna pay here. Snake person. My name is Orochimaru. Orochimaru, then. Watch. Naruto would clench his fist in rage as a ominous chakra would start to form around it. It was a mixture of red and blue chakra.
as if Naruto was calling both upon his own chakra and that of the Nine-Tails Fox. Now watch me, Orochimaru. With that, Naruto was encased in a blue and crimson glow. Rushing around Orochimaru, he would attack him from all sides and angles. First, a kick. Second, a headbutt. Next, punches, left, right. He continued this onslaught of a barrage until Orochimaru looked more like a red potato, or tomato in this case, rather than, well, a snake's onion. With that being said, he looked down on Orochimaru, just as Orochimaru had looked down on him when the fights first started. You know, with those piercing eyes of yours, your story is probably really interesting, Orochimaru. But I do have a question. Why did you attack Sasuke? Is it something you want from him? It's no secret that he's an Uchiha, and, you know, people want the Sharingan. But my real question is, do you want the Sharingan for yourself? And also, how did you know that Sasuke Uchiha would be in the Forest of Death on this very day? Orochimaru wouldn't speak. Actually, Orochimaru wouldn't even move a muscle. Never mind talk. Naruto was frustrated. Since you won't answer my questions, maybe I'll have to give you another beating. He would do so. And with that, he would muster up all of his chakra into one blow, which would send Orochimaru through several trees and down to the ground on his back, looking up at Naruto. It would come down, pulling Orochimaru by his collar and slamming his fist into Orochimaru's face constantly and continuously. It would be here that smoke now emanated off of Orochimaru's body. He was beaten. Real bad. A beating he had never had in a really long time, if ever. He was defeated, you could say. But, with that being said, Naruto would take Orochimaru's body to Hiruzen upon leaving the Forest of Death with Sakura and Sasuke. Sakura and Sasuke both no longer have paralyzation, thus they are able to move with Naruto and escape the Forest of Death. Sasuke also is not inflicted by the curse mark, meaning that Sakura never has to set up camp and wait for Sasuke and Naruto to recover. Naruto is never beaten so badly due to the Nine-Tails chakra, meaning that Naruto doesn't have to recover and can speedily rush out of the Forest of Death. This completely eliminates the threat of Orochimaru killing the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, due to the fact that Orochimaru is now beaten beyond compare, cannot heal himself at the moment, and has now been captured by Anbu alongside Hiruzen Sarutobi himself, meaning that it is basically useless for Orochimaru to fight anymore. The sound, not having a leader to call upon, means that the evasion comes much later, meaning that the Chunin exams can continue a little longer, also meaning that Sasuke can get more damage off on Gaara before he transforms and whatnot. This also means that the Sand is the only attacking village at the time, as they have a leader in this case. With that being said, the Sand is swiftly defeated by the Leaf Village with the help of Hiruzen himself, many Anbu, Kakashi, my guy, Iruka, even Jiraiya at this point. You get the point. Naruto still goes on to fight Gaara in this timeline, and after defeating Gaara, which we will get into their fight in just a moment, Naruto becomes the village hero, basically. Naruto, upon seeing Gaara start to transform, while watching Sasuke and Gaara's fight, would realize something was off. And when the Sand Village attacked, and Gaara was left rampant in the Chunin exams arena, alone with his teammate, Sasuke, Naruto couldn't just sit around. And so, he swiftly grabbed Gaara and started running as fast as he can. It would be here that Gaara started clawing into Naruto with his fingernails, as Naruto would start to bleed from this, and a lot of blood would pour from Naruto's body. With that, Naruto would continue running until they got far, far away from both the Leaf Village and Chunin exams. It was as if this was Naruto's life mission, to kill Gaara, to save the Leaf Village. He was so devoted to it, you could say. It would be here that he would place down Gaara. Looking deep into Gaara's eyes, he only saw a beast. But upon further inspection, he saw a boy. A heartbroken boy, a sad boy, a broken boy, somebody who was betrayed and unloved in this world. And so, Naruto would disappear and reappear, this time with a sword and a kunai in hand. Gaara of the Sand Village. You are what they call a Jinchuriki, meaning that you possess a tailed beast. The sand has the one-tails. I'm assuming that is you. The one-tails is of the weakest of the tailed beast. Gaara would roar. This action was mostly controlled by Shukaku. He didn't like being called weak, even if the facts were true. Somewhat. Hopefully, nobody has to die. And if I can defeat you here, then you will no longer pose a threat for the Leaf Village. So, Gaara of the Sand, be prepared! Naruto would rush towards Gaara, slicing past him. Blood would pour from Gaara, but this blood would quickly be replaced with sand, which would start dropping to the ground rapidly. Naruto would then yell out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sword! Naruto would pull his sword forward, pointing it directly at Gaara. 9 sword slash! Naruto would slash Gaara 9 times, with Gaara falling on his knees. This would give Shukaku the opportunity to take near full control of Gaara's body, as Gaara would start to expand. Expand, expand, and expand. Damn it. The situation's getting way out of control. Naruto would use his speed to attack Gaara whilst he was getting bigger and bigger, kicking him and kicking him and kicking him. Each kick only moved him back further, but it did nothing to hurt him. He grew in size, and Naruto's legs began to grow sore and ache with pain. Damn it! Kick, kick, kick. Naruto continued to kick at Gaara, but it was to no avail. He couldn't do anything. Nothing worked. Nothing would work. Damn it! Naruto would yell out, as he would drive his blade directly into Gaara. Still, it did nothing. Taking out the blade, he would back up. I have a plan. Naruto would shut his eyes. While shutting his eyes, he would begin to communicate with the Nine Tails. Unfortunately, while this was happening, Shukaku, taking control of Gaara's body, would grow bigger and bigger, causing Leaf Shinobi and Ninja to witness what was happening. Naruto fighting a whole-tailed beast alone? This was unprecedented, never mind unheard of by a mere genin. Naruto would talk to the Nine Tails, and upon evaluation of the situation, he would lend Naruto his chakra, as much as he could. He hated Shukaku, and giving Naruto his chakra would also weaken the seal, meaning that it was a win-win situation for him, the Kyuubi, Kurama, whatever you want to call it. With that being said, Naruto's eyes would open. Nine-Tails' chakra now surrounded him. Hiruzen directly watched this fight, though he was very exhausted from fighting multiple sand and sound shinobi. Looking at Naruto from a distance, he wondered, had Naruto managed to control the Kyuubi's power? Had he tamed the beast that ravaged the village 12 years ago? Or is this a fluke? With that, Naruto would rush towards Shukaku, punching into Shukaku with a barrage of attacks. My apologies. My tongue got a little twisted. Anyways, it would be here that Naruto would punch into Shikaku with a near unstoppable barrage. Hiya! 1, 2, 3, 4. Naruto slammed his fist into Shikaku. Everybody in the village watched this in awe. Shikaku was being sent flying by a young boy. Nevertheless, the kid that was hated by most villagers. This was, you could say, insane if you want to be honest. It was something that never happened and something that, well, probably would never happen again in the history of the Leaf Village. It would be here that Naruto would start preparing the jutsu. Now, the jutsu came natural to him. This was in part due to his, well, reincarnation of evil thing, that he even knew the hand signs, but yeah. With that being said, he tapped into fire style and was able to use a fireball jutsu, hitting Shikaku with it. Naruto was a little exhausted, as he knew he had to finish it soon. Well, it's over for you, Shikaku. Nine-Tails chakra would then get it on to Naruto's blade, as it would cut right through Shikaku. Right through, slicing him in half. Gaara's real body was untouched from this, and the parts of Shikaku's body that Naruto slashed off would start to decay into sand. As Nine-Tails chakra then seeped back into Naruto's body, he smiled. A tailed beast. This is definitely probably my greatest achievement in life. Maybe now I won't be looked at as a monster anymore. Naruto would walk over to Gaara, his near lifeless body clinging on the life he spoke. Why haven't you killed me yet? Kill you? Now why on earth would I, Naruto Uzumaki, do that? Because I threatened your village, and I almost destroyed it, right? Well, it is true that if I didn't stop and grab you, you probably would have destroyed the Chunin Exams arena. And there probably would have been many casualties to come with that. You probably would have rampaged within Shikaku's body. And within Shikaku, you would have killed many people. Villagers, ninja, probably even children. But I stopped that, so it doesn't matter anymore, it's in the past. I fixed what would have happened because it no longer happened and it no longer will. Gaara, I'm the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last tailed beast. Arguably the strongest, but, you know, I obviously have some bias. And 12 years ago, the Nine-Tails ravaged this village, as far as I know. He destroyed it, utterly annihilated it. I mean, sometimes in some parts of the village you can see the damage. It hasn't been rebuilt or repolished. But in some parts of the village, you can't see the damage. The only thing you can see is the people. The people who were affected by the thing that is inside of me. You could even call it a beast, but to me, the QB is... he's a prisoner inside of my body. So I can't blame him for destroying the Leaf Village, even though it was caused by his hand. Tailed beasts harbor lots of rage and hatred, and that can spread onto their Jinchuriki as easy as water can get on a plate, or can flow off a leaf and get you wet. I wouldn't know how to explain it, but Gaara, I can tell that through your eyes I see a beast, but underneath I see pure-heartedness. A good person, a good boy, good guy, you know? Someone who probably lost way more than anybody has. I'm not saying that you've lost more than me or that I've lost more than you. But you can't let these things take advantage of your whole entire life. You have a whole life to live. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is you only live once. Don't live your shinobi life being hated and feared. Live your shinobi life being loved and feared. Because love is special. And I'm sure that there's been many things in life that have, let's just say, taken you off of the idea of any sort of love. But it's beautiful. And you gotta give it a second chance, you know? I feel like I'm talking to a dead person right now. The whole eyes closed thing, and you're not moving at all. So, if you could speak, that would really be appreciated. Anything. Naruto. Thank you. Huh? Why are you thanking me? Because throughout my whole life, nobody has acknowledged me in the way that you have. And nobody has understood me like you have. I realize now that everything I did up until this point was wrong. Hey, don't think like that. It's a small mistake. Nothing special. You have a token of my appreciation. You have the charisma I wish I had. And the understanding I wish I had. But through this talk, I think I can understand it now. Understand that love is important. And that people can be forgiven. And that I should live my life being loved instead of hated. That I shouldn't seek power, but instead peace, tranquility. Hey, I'm not saying to be some peace main of sorts. I'm just saying that, hey, I talk a lot. No, Naruto, you talk the truth. Your words are more truthful than anything I've ever heard in my entire life. So thank you. Thank you for everything. You, Naruto Uzumaki. You've changed my life. And for that, I am forever indebted to you. Indebted to you. Naruto. Gaara would pass out from exhaustion. Naruto would smile. Well, I guess it happens to the best of us. Now then, I think I'd like a nap as well. Naruto would lay down beside Gaara. Hey Gaara, I know you're asleep or whatever. Maybe you just can't muster up any more words. You know, no more energy in the fuel tank. But I think I got stronger today. And I think I also made a new friend. So, first thing I'm gonna do as your friend is sleep beside you. How's that sound? Naruto would then lay down to the ground. As soon afterwards, Naruto would start to be praised in the village. He was the village hero who defeated the tailed beast Shukaku, sent the sand village running home, tails between their legs. Naruto actually even spared the life of the Jinchuriki, letting Gaara live, and showing that he was the better person, and that he only wanted peace. And thus, later that day, Gaara would go home with Tamara and Kankura, where he would apologize to his younger and older brother. Sorry, my apologies. Older sister and older brother. With that being said, they would return back to the Sand Village, and Gaara would try to become Hokage. Naruto and Gaara had a talk about many other things, and one of the things was what Naruto aspired to do in life. One of them being Hokage. One of them becoming the Hokage. And so he worked hard to become a Hokage. even though the path seemed very far. And thus, Gaara would do the same, working very hard to become the Hokage of the Sand Village, or rather, the Kage of the Sand Village. My apologies, that was really confusing. But with that being said, Naruto lived to see another day, and all was well. Orochimaru still continued to be a threat. He threatened the Leaf Village with his presence alone. And it would be in soon time that the sound, specifically the Sound 5, would come looking for their master. We now have a time skip of 4 years. Naruto is now 16, along with Sakura, Sasuke, Gaara, Shikamaru, Tenten, Neji, you get the point. Everybody's aged up 4 years. It would be a nice summer day, as Orochimaru has been held captive by the Leaf Village for 4 years straight. Whilst there, they extracted most of what Orochimaru knew and everything he knew, for the most part. About dojutsu, about jutsu, about Kikki-genkai, etc. It didn't really matter what it was, they found it out. Using their uncanny torture methods and orthodox mind reading due to, the whole Yamanaka thing. But with that being said, it would be on this night that the Sound would attack, trying to free their master. Naruto, on this particular night, was left guard with Sasuke, who he had developed a brother-like bond with at this point. You see, he was guarding Orochimaru as, well, the village was short at the time on ninja due to the fact that they were sending a lot of ninja out on missions. With that, Naruto was getting a little tired. And so, he began to lay down. It would be here while he was laying down that Kimimaro would approach him, pulling out a bone sword and pointing it to Naruto's neck. Don't move, Naruto. Don't move or you might die. Can I open my eyes? Yeah, go ahead. Naruto would look. It was Kimimaro. He had never seen him in his life, but for some reason his presence felt weirdly familiar. This was in part due to the fact that he had fought Orochimaru, and his presence was similar to Orochimaru's, who, at this point, he is very familiar with. It is my understanding that my master, Orochimaru Sanin, is behind these walls. Is that correct? Naruto, do not answer. Tell him to not answer, and I will cut his throat. Naruto, you can answer. Yeah, what's it to you? Wow, that's good enough. 4 sound members would appear. Kidomaru, Spider Guy, Tayuya, Flute Girl, Jiroba, Strong Boy, you get the point, and Ukon and Sakon. Yeah, I believe that was their names. Anyways, with that being said, they all appeared. Well then, would you guys go and fetch Orochimaru? I will stay here and make sure that these dogs of the Leaf Village stay quiet. Yes, Kimimaro. They would walk in as they would go and retrieve Orochimaru. Whilst doing so, Kimimaro continued to talk with, Naruto and Sasuke. Are you an Uchiha, Sasuke? How do you know my name? So then my intel is correct. You are Sasuke Uchiha, the second to only living member of the Uchiha clan? And what is it to you? Well, I know my master really wants the Sharingan. So if I take you, then what? Then... let's just say then I can both get in his good favor, and it would make up for the amount of time that he spent locked up in these walls. Which means that I think I'm going to take you completely. I can't allow that, Naruto would say, with the bone sword still being pointed to his neck. Naruto would grab the bone sword, snapping it in half. This would break Naruto's hand, but he did manage to break the bone sword. He would then put his hand back into place. Damn it. That hurt like hell. You broke my bone sword. What kind of shinobi are you? Uzumaki Naruto. How do you know my name? Kimamura? That's what it says there, right? The kanji on your robe. Yes, that is indeed my name. My intel said that you are the holder of the beast known as the Nine Tails, I believe. It ravaged this village nearly 16 years ago. And you are the Jinchuriki of it. I am familiar somewhat with what Jinchurikis are, but I've never seen one in the flesh this close. Interesting. Well, I'm going to kill your friend here. Either that, or I am going to take him back to my hideout. Well, Orochimaru will do what he always does. Conduct experiments. The Nine Tails must be special. As for you, Sasuke, you will be given directly to my master. With that, Kimamaro would go to attack Naruto, as Naruto would grab his blade. I can't let you kill me or Sasuke. Fine. A Jinchuriki who won't comply is better left undead Jinchuriki. Which means that I will kill you. Kimamaro would raise his bone sword. As he would yell out, "Bone sword, triumph of the dead," slicing right into Naruto's heart. Naruto would pause. He could no longer speak, and his eyes became null, faded into darkness, his body numb. Sasuke watched all of this while being able to do nothing, which would trigger his Mangekyo Sharingan, seeing the death of his best friend being stabbed right through the heart. Light would appear from Naruto's body. As Naruto would reappear behind Kimamaro, headlocking him, Kimamaro would start to choke, losing air. I killed you just seconds ago, right through the heart. How are you still alive? It's actually quite simple. I can cheat death, in a way. And with that, I become closer and closer to... Never mind. He was going to say becoming the literal reincarnation of evil, but it's information that nobody really needs to know besides he and himself. With that, he would look deeply into Kimamaro's eyes. Whilst I have the ability to cheat death, you do not, Kimamaro. Member of the Sound Village. Naruto would raise his blade. I suppose fate would only be fitting to stab you in your heart as you did stab me. I think that's fair, right? With that, he would raise his blade, stabbing it into Kimamaro's heart. Kimamaro was now dead. Sasuke, get up quickly. I can hear their footsteps. They're coming fast. They're approaching quickly. And as I can now hear 6 footsteps, means Orochimaru is off them. probably unshackled and bloodthirsty as ever. This is a fight I don't want to take on at any day. But if it is to be today, then we will bury them in blood. Give me your strength. We will use a combination jutsu. If we're lucky, we can kill all of them. This was an interesting plan. That should have took more planning, but it was accurate. If they could form a strong enough combination jutsu, they could kill them all. Now, quickly. Earth style. Sasuke looked over at Naruto. You know Earth style? I have every chakra nature. Oh, Sasuke would shake his head, clearing his mind. Fine, then I'll use... I don't think I have a jutsu that would properly counteract that. Fine. Then what I want you to do is gather electricity. And you're going to use a Chidori stream when I give you the count, okay? Alright, but you do know that lightning style renders earth style ineffective. Well, what I'm trying to do is use an earth style jutsu and a water style jutsu in tandem, which means that I will be able to create a mud-like jutsu. Mud means that there is water. Water will electrocute them. If the electrocution is strong enough, then they will be fried to death. And if it doesn't work, then they will suffocate due to the mud. You're going to cover the entire building with mud? I'm going to flood the entire building with mud, yes. Now, water style, raging waves jutsu. Earth style, earth barricade. Barrage of the earth. With that, earth would come swarming into the building with water turning into a mud-like jutsu. Now, Sasuke, are you prepared? Good. Go. On 3, 2, stop. 1. With that, Sasuke would use his Chidori stream, which would electrocute everybody in the building, and the mud would suffocate them. All of them would die, except for Orochimaru, who would become a very, very small snake. You see, during his time in what you could describe as a little bit of a holding cell, prison, etc., he had, in a way, had chakra ceiling chains on, meaning that he couldn't use any jutsu, etc. And thus, this time, without the shackles, he became a very small snake, shifting through the mud and deep into the ground, appearing far, far away and getting as far as he could from the Leaf Village underground. Sasuke and Naruto would both say. As we know it, Orochimaru's dead. No, Sasuke. I can still feel his presence. It's not in the building anymore. It's getting farther and farther away. He escaped? Yeah. And he's too far away for us to get him anymore. I see. Well, I guess that's our bad luck. You can say that again. Anyways, we killed the rest of the Sound 5. So, mission accomplished? Kinda? Yeah. Naruto and Sasuke would high-five each other. With that, Naruto and Sasuke would report what had happened to the third Hokage, who had realized that there was a disturbance within the village. Upon hearing of this, Naruto and Sasuke would go to sleep, as they would any other day. Waking up... Sorry about that sudden pause. I had to end the recording. I got painstakingly hungry. I got very, very hungry. I still am quite famished, if I'm being honest. But sometimes when I get really hungry, my words just, don't string together properly. So I had to cut the recording there. But the recording shall now continue.
Several weeks passed with several things going on in these weeks, but for the most part, one thing would be noted. The Akatsuki. Basically, the whole Deidara Gaara thing would happen, but Naruto in this timeline arrives fast enough to stop it, and, well, unfortunately, he is killed by Deidara. But this sacrifice would allow Gaara to gather the necessary strength, and would even gather the necessary rage to kill Deidara. With that being said, Naruto revives, going on to his 4th life. With that being said, Naruto, after this point, realizing that the Akatsuki plan to hunt all of the Jinchuriki, being a Jinchuriki himself, and also, well, one of his best friends, Gaara, is a Jinchuriki, he is scared, you could say. And thus, he hunts them all down. This would take about a few months for him to do, but he would kill all of, well, mostly all of the Akatsuki members that were known to be living. He did this in many ways. For instance, sometimes he would kill himself only to come back stronger and continue to fight them. As you know, he has 18 chances to kill himself and 9 chances to normally die. With that being said, if he ever did fall in combat naturally, then he would just rebirth. And he used this jutsu to take out the baddest of the bad, the strongest of the strongest Akatsuki members, which included Pain. But at this point, Madara has been revived. And Madara, working together with Obito, would figure out the location of Naruto Uzumaki and his squad while they were, you could say, on a mission. The squad consisted of Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke. With that being said, they were on a small mission to the Cloud Village, just to talk to the Jinchuriki that were in the Cloud Village. But whilst there, Madara and Obito would appear, fighting them through a 5-hour-long battle. Obito would manage to be defeated through the use of Kakashi's Kamui, interacting with Obito's Kamui, and all sorts of factors that allowed them to take this victory over Obito. But unfortunately, this victory was not against Madara as well. Though it is true that you have defeated Obito, I am Madara Uchiha, and I will not be defeated in the same fashion. How is Madara here, some of you may be asking? Well, he has been revived using the Edo Tensei. And, in part, this was due to the help of Orochimaru. With that being said, Madara would start to beat down on Naruto, who, through killing all the Akatsuki members and fighting them, besides killing Itachi Uchiha, who remains alive, but his fate will be known much later on in this video. Through only having defeated every single Akatsuki member besides Itachi, Obito, and Madara, if you count Obito and Madara, he only managed to have one life, meaning that this was his last life, and if he died, he would become the reincarnation of evil itself. It would be here that Madara would start to use unorthodox jutsus that Naruto and his squad had never seen. Jutsus that were dealing a lot of damage. Jutsus that were strong. Attacks that were powerful. But with that being said, Naruto would be pushed to his limit, as Madara would take advantage of this, killing Naruto. There was no need for another reincarnation of Asura, and so he killed him. It even felt like his natural duty. As Naruto fell to the ground, he felt his body changing. He felt everything about him changing. And I mean everything. He felt himself getting stronger. And he felt as if he was losing himself. In a black pit, Naruto appeared in his subconscious. At this point, Naruto has befriended the Nine Tails to a very high degree. So much so that he can use about 5 to 7 of the Nine Tails' tails of chakra without there being any issues. But here he didn't see the Nine Tails in his subconscious. All he saw was darkness and a man. Hi, Naruto Uzumaki. You are my current vessel. No, you've got to be kidding me. Nope, it is me in the flesh. Evil. I knew it. Damn it. So I lost. So I'm dying, aren't I? Yep. And your life is now mine. Meaning that I have 9 lives to live as you, Naruto. So I should be thanking you. I think that's the most I can do. You've brought me probably the best vessel I've had in several centuries. And thus I will save your friends. A small token of my appreciation. Upon saving them, I will leave. And if they follow me, or try to get you, back, I will kill them. Hopefully. A loud shaking sound would be heard, as evil, now in control of Naruto's body completely, would shake the earth. Naruto remained deeply dormant within evil, but he was shadowed by evil's malice and strength. Never mind his power and essence. Evil looked around him. This is now evil as Naruto's body, so Naruto will now be referred to evil. But when I refer to evil, it is Naruto's body. When I refer to Naruto, it is Naruto's subconscious within his own body, which is now being controlled by evil. Oh, it feels even better. Breathing in air. Now that I am truly alive, I will bring about great calamity, and I will relish in the death of Uto and all of his faithful followers. Or should I say my faithful followers? Naruto, what are you talking about? Kakashi would say. Eva would appear in front of Kakashi, looking at him and even dissecting him with his eyes, that is. Huh. You must be the sensei. Interesting. Well, Naruto no longer remains. I am the reincarnation of evil. What? Oh, he never told you? Well, as you guys probably know, Naruto can kind of cheat death. At least he could before I took over his body. It is due to the fact that he is a reincarnation of I, a vessel of mine, you could say. Vessels of mine have the ability to cheat death 9 times. By physical things. Illness, I don't know, being stabbed through the heart, for example, you get the point. They can even kill themselves 18 times. This is, or rather, that is merely a perk of being one of my reincarnations. Who even are you? I am evil. E-V-I-L-L, the reincarnation of evil is the vessel I'm in right now, and I am quite literally the embodiment of evil. I see. Then Naruto, he's inside of there. We have to save him. We have to save him, Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke. I'm afraid
that you cannot save Naruto. He is buried too far deep into my darkness. And each second that passes that I have control over his body, the more he sinks deeper and deeper. Now then, Madara Uchiha. Ooh, is this a challenge, I feel? Yes, it is a challenge, and I am going to kill you. Evil would appear in front of Madara, placing his hand on Madara's chest. You're strong. I can give you that, Madara. Huh? What are you? You have been rebirthed as a reincarnation in Edo Tensei, a reanimation. The Edo Tensei Jutsu is of evil origin. I believe the creator of this jutsu was the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju. It was an evil jutsu, and thus, he, you could say, forbid it, meaning it is forbidden, a forbidden jutsu. Since it is evil, I control it. I control all things evil in essence. So, I can revoke the reincarnation. Now, reanimation jutsu. Banish! With that, Madara's body would start to fall apart, as evil would ensure that Madara could not use any form of jutsu to keep himself on the physical plane, atomizing Madara's body. It would be here that Sakura would begin to cry. Just a second afterwards, she had tried to hug Naruto, but Naruto had slapped her away. And it would be then that Naruto would leave, and it appeared that he would never return. Up and down the whole world, Naruto, inside, well, evil, would create calamity. He would bring about destruction everywhere he went, destroying villages, countries even, killing clans, entire clans. It didn't matter who he came across. He just cared about bloodshed. And so, he got it. Evil got everything he wanted. Until eventually, Uto. It would be here that Uto and Evil would clash. Uto's physical presence alone was enough to render the archangels of Uto ineffective. Their abilities ceased to work, you could say. And thus, it was a 1v1. Evil versus good. Uto versus evil. Evil and Uto had a heart-filled fight. They got off things they had to say, and blood was spilled. A lot of it, to be exact. You could say that it was a fight for the ages, and that the people watching the fight would remember it and tell it in fables to come, stories passed down from generation to generation. The fact of the matter was that this fight was even, with Uto taking his own life to ensure that evil could not kill him, and that instead he would be reborn once more, giving him the opportunity to stop evil in his next life. With that being said, evil now saw not a real point in life, where his only point was to destroy. But Naruto was still inside, buried deep within evil. Sasuke had been planning this for months. He knew exactly where evil would be, tracking him down to several massacres close to the Stone Village and Mist Villages. It would be here that he would ambush evil. With the help of Shikamaru, Tenten, Neji, Choji, Hinata, Sakura, Kakashi, Might Guy, Hiruzen, etc. basically all of the Konoha 11 and a lot of their teachers as well, the third Hokage, etc., etc. As they would try to get through to Naruto. Evil would immediately rush to kill them all, but his body would be stopped. It was Naruto. One of Evil's eyes would turn a bright blue, as Naruto would control half of Evil's mouth, making out the words, "Run away. Leave me alone. You can't save me." Unfortunately, they wouldn't listen to Naruto, continuing to attack anyway, continuing to try to get through to him. And it would be here that Evil would reach into Choji's chest. Such a big creature. Is this a special Kiki Genkai? Well, nevertheless. Get off of me, Naruto. I said stop calling me that. I am evil. And I'm not off of you. You could actually say that I'm in you. My hand is physically inside of your chest, and I will rip out your heart. No, Naruto wouldn't do that. Choji's heart would begin to be pulled out, as Hinata would try to stop him. Naruto in this timeline does have feelings for Hinata, so something would happen. Evil would go to slap Hinata, but his hand would be stopped. This very hand that would be stopped would then reach onto his other hand that was inside of Choji's chest, pulling it out. Evil and Naruto would then have a fight inside of their subconscious. Well, Naruto would win this fight. It is unknown how, but he did. Though it should be presumed that he had the help of the Sage of Six Paths in this battle. With that being said, Naruto now stood over Evil. So I've been defeated. Yeah, you have been defeated. Evil. You know, there wasn't always a time where I was like this. I know the story. I don't need to hear it again. I see. Did one of the previous incarnates tell you? Yeah, you could say something like that. Well then, I guess you're no longer needed in this plane. I will dispatch of you inside of my subconscious, and I will take back hold of my body as its rightful owner. I'm sorry, Naruto. Huh? Why are you apologizing? It's my nature to be this way. It's my nature to kill, to cause calamity. I was put this way on Earth as evil. So, I apologize for anything I did. You will still have to atone for everything you've done, Evil. One apology doesn't make everything good. But if you ask for my forgiveness, you haven't, Evil. I forgive you. I guess. Thank you, Naruto. It would be here that a metaphorical sword would be stabbed into Evil, where Naruto would now have full control over his body once more. And Evil would be damned to lay in darkness for 100 years. Naruto would hug everyone there. He would also apologize to Choji, giving him Nine-Tails chakra to heal his wounds. And with that, this is kind of the end. Naruto goes on to have several children with Hinata, only 4, but it is more than the canon timeline. Boruto is still born, as well as Himawari, and Naruto still becomes the 6th Hokage. Or rather, in this case, the 6th Hokage, as Kakashi never becomes a Hokage. He advises Naruto, but is never the real Hokage. with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. It was very long, I guess you could say. And kind of hard to record for me. But I love you all, and I appreciate that you stayed the whole video. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And with that being said, this has been What If Naruto Had 9 Lives. When I make the full movie, it will be known as What If Naruto is the Reincarnation of Evil, as that's kind of what this What If is, but it wasn't what it was originally. Originally, it was just 9 lives, but as I went further and further into the What If, I realized that this What If could also be called What If Naruto was the Reincarnation of Evil, with a little bit of tweaks, of course. So, with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, share the video to a friend who likes what is, or just stay to make content in general. Comment down below what are suggestions, as that would be deeply appreciated. I would appreciate that so much, and I might even take a few into consideration. If any of you have maybe a birthday coming up, then I could possibly do a what if for you guys, just to, you know, give back to the community that I'm in. Yeah. With that being said, farewell. Rami X, out.